The dKart Inspector program supports various electronic navigational chart formats and offers flexible loading options. The primary formats supported are S57 versions 3.0 and 3.1, the standard formats for electronic navigational charts. If the IENC module is installed, the software also supports inland IENC charts, version 2.x. Additionally, raster charts are available and are more commonly used as background layers. These are files with the extensions .bp and .tiff. Please note that raster chart files must be georeferenced. Loading a chart. Let's now take a look at how to load a chart in dKart Inspector. When you start the program, the first thing you will see is the chart loading window. Here, you need to select a file with the .000 extension. This is the main file of the Electronic Navigational Chart, the so-called base cell. Where to begin? First, decide whether you need to load the chart with its updates or just the base cell. Depending on how your files are organized, you can choose different loading options. Option 1. Updates are stored in the same folder as the base cell. In this case, enable the Apply All Updates automatically option. The program will automatically find and apply all update files located in the same folder as the .000 file. Important: if the catalog file is missing, also enable the Ignore Catalog option to prevent the program from trying to locate it. Option 2. File structure is organized according to the S63 standard. This setup is a bit more complex. The base cell is stored in the folder named 0. Update files are in folders named 1, 2, and so on. In this structure, a catalog .031 file must be present in the root folder, enc_root. This file tells the program where to find updates and how to apply them. If the Ignore Catalog option is disabled, the program will search for the catalog file, read the update paths from it, load and apply all updates if the Apply All Updates automatically option is enabled. If, on the other hand, you enable Ignore Catalog, then the chart will be loaded without updates, even if Apply All Updates automatically is enabled. In this mode, the program simply ignores all catalogs and loads only the .000 base file. More about the catalog file. The catalog .031 file is a crucial part of the S57 dataset. According to the specification, every exchange set must contain at least one .000 file, the base cell, and a catalog .031 file. The catalog file describes the full contents of the exchange set, base cell, updates, support files, stores checksums for all files, allowing you to verify their integrity. If the updates are located next to the base cell, Inspector will apply them directly. If they are stored in separate folders, the program will attempt to locate the catalog file and apply updates based on the paths it contains. What happens after loading? Once the chart is loaded, it becomes the active chart. In the chart list panel, the active chart is outlined in red. This is the chart you will work with to run tests, inspect objects, analyze errors, and so on. Loading a chart in a running program. In addition to loading a chart at startup, dKart Inspector also allows you to load a chart while the program is already running. First, you need to configure the loading options. Go to File, Options, then open the Load tab. Here, select the same options as you would during startup, for example, whether to automatically apply updates or ignore the catalog file. Once the options are set, click the Load button on the toolbar or choose File, Load Chart. Then, select the base cell file with the .000 extension. The program will load the selected chart into the workspace. The newly loaded chart will automatically become the active one. It will be highlighted with a red border in the chart list panel. The active chart is the one you are currently working with, running tests, exploring objects, reviewing issues, and so on. Loading a chart as a background. Sometimes, for analysis or visual comparison, you may need to load a chart as a background. To do this, go to the menu, File, Load Background Chart. Both raster images and other electronic navigational charts can be used as background charts. You can load multiple background charts at once, but keep in mind, the quality and speed of rendering will depend on the amount of video memory available on your computer. How does layering work? When you load a chart as a background, it is placed under the main chart. You can determine this by the priority value. A simple rule applies here. The lower the priority number, the higher the chart appears on the screen relative to others. Working with transparency. To visually compare charts more effectively, you can apply transparency to one of them. This will allow you to see both charts overlaid on each other. Take note, after applying transparency, the chart's priority changes from something like 2 to T1. The T prefix indicates that transparency is active on that chart. Why is this useful? This method of display is very convenient for visually checking consistency between charts. You can immediately see whether the data from one chart aligns or differs from another, whether it's a raster image or another IENC. All loaded charts are shown in the chart list. Is displayed as a hierarchical object tree in the Active Dataset panel. To switch the active chart, right-click the desired chart in the list and choose Set Active. Only one chart can be active at any given time. There's also a useful tool called the Transparency tool, which lets you adjust the opacity of charts and visually compare overlapping ones. If you've changed the loading settings and want them to take effect, use File, Reload Chart to reload the active chart. And if you need detailed information about the chart you're working with, open File, Chart Properties to view its metadata and attributes.